Got ya! Yes, it's a pen. Hello, this is Owen Jones co-presenting comments with my special furry guest, Kia. Here he is, in a slightly fighty mood. Aren't you? Aren't you, sweetheart? He likes this if you just do that. It's weird. So, what are we doing? We're talking...
Huh? Microphone.
Oh, is it not on?
No, it's on.
Joseph G. Is this literally just a video of cherry-picking horrible comments made by people who say they have conservative views? Are you suggesting, Joseph, that they don't have conservative views because they're so abusive? What I would say to you is, with all due respect, welcome to our world. That is all the left has had to endure for the last 2 years. That was the point that I was making. It's the hypocrisy where the left is routinely abused for being abusive or having terrible bigoted views and being intolerant. And it's often based on just random Twitter accounts. And some of them are parody accounts. They're not even left-wing accounts. They're right-wingers mimicking left-wingers. And then people go, oh my word, have you seen what they've said? Keir, you can go if you want. I mean, it's not obligatory to sit there. Now, am I saying that there isn't bigotry that exists on the left? No. Repeatedly, I've taken on, for example, anti-Semitism in all its forms, including on the left. Whereas there's lots of examples of scandals, of abuse, of bullying that exists on the political right, it's never taken as indicative of how the right actually behave. With the left, on the other hand, the most minor kind of examples are used, of certain behaviour which is bad, to say this is what the left is like, this is their culture, why are they so abusive, why are they so intolerant? What I've tried to do is redress the balance, which I think is important. Pancake lobster, take a shot every time Owen Jones says some variation on calamitous in a video. Ooh, I do have these little quirks that I keep, words I keep saying. You're going to get battered, aren't you? Calamitous. Do I say calamity? I do, probably do actually. A series of calamities. Imagine the calamitous Western invasions. Calamitous consequences. Catastrophic. I think I put it in print as well. I'm going to Google that. Owen Jones, Guardian, that's who I work for. Calamitous. How many times? Oh dear. I say calamitous quite a lot, don't I? Wicked HHVKHHH. Mate, come on, get a slightly more easily said username. Oh, and I realise that some young and old Tories are like that, but a lot of us aren't like this. You do realise this, don't you? Yeah, I'm not saying all Tories are like this. What we're talking about is a culture, a political culture that enables the sort of class hatred discourse that you saw in that WhatsApp group. They were saying what they really thought, things they would not dare say in public, because the reason they won't say it in public is because it would reveal their complete class hatred and contempt for people from less privileged backgrounds. Of course, it was used in a way to show hatred towards people. They talked about them breeding, about the way they dressed. Yeah, I mean, there is a problem, I'm afraid, on the political right with class hatred. And that is a sense because of the economic and political model of the Conservatives, particularly in the last generation, has been that, those who make it to the top, as they see it, are there because they're the best, the brightest. That's my cat. Protesting against this injustice. Those at the bottom of society are lazy, feckless and work shy. And that then manifests itself in terms like the chavs. But when we talk about a culture like that, we don't mean that everyone's like that. Load of Tories aren't like that at all. Second line studios. Exactly what we're facing in the US with the alt-right that has been emboldened by the current occupant of the White House. By alt-right, of course, we mean racists, fascists, neo-Nazis, generally quite unpleasant people who were last seen at their peak wiping out Europe and murdering tens of millions of people, many of whom were killed on the basis of their perceived biological inferiority. Yeah, they're not great, are they? And they do look at Donald Trump and his election as vindication for them. Am I saying all Trump supporters are like that? Absolutely not. This is a minority in America which does feel that, well, hey, we've been legitimised, we've got a mandate. And it is about separating those lot from other Trump supporters who aren't wedded to that kind of violent racism and misogyny and homophobia and transphobia. But you're absolutely right. What has happened in Britain and America is certain politicians who've peddled anti-immigrant hatred, bigotry and other things, they, you know, because of political events, they now think, well, we can do what we want now. Ruben Smart, see you in hell, Jones, sounds like a Belloc's closing line from Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Bass Boss. One simple question: if a business cannot pay their workforce a decent living wage, is that business a viable business? Well, it shouldn't be, should it? We should look back, you know, in the future and think that anybody should earn their poverty in a rich country should be seen as absolutely disgraceful. Everybody has a basic right, and we will have it one day when we build a socialist Britain, as a basic fundamental right will be that every person in work has a wage on which at the very least they can live. And it should be more than that. People should be able to live prosperous lives where life continually gets better and their living standards constantly improve, which we've not been having over the last few years. Businesses depend on workers to produce their wealth, and when they don't pay them a proper wage, the state has to step in and top up their wages with in-work benefits. Now, given those businesses benefit from everything from an education service that trains up their workers, infrastructure provided by the state, road, rail, a law and order system that protects them and their property, a health system, and research and development, which, you know, they depend on government research, which produces things they then turn as a profit. I've got an iPhone and Siri and GPS, the internet are all public sector creations. So yeah, I mean, the very least businesses can do is pay their workers a proper wage instead of scrounging off the state and condemning people to poverty, including the kids of those workers, which then means their full potential isn't unleashed, and then we all suffer as a country. So we will win it, this battle. Everyone will have a living wage. Once we get some socialism. Badgerell Finmutty. I back these workers. My son works there for a while and was paid just $4.50 an hour because he was under 18. Criminal. Well, unfortunately, that's not criminal. It should be criminal. McDonald's executives will get a massive wad of money, partly because of the labour of your son. What we've got to do is stop treating injustice like the weather, like it's sad, it's tough for them, boo-hoo-hoo, grit your teeth, get on with it. We've got to go, it's unacceptable. We've got to build a different sort of country that I've literally stolen your tea. I made tea and then I just started drinking it. Do you want some tea?
No, all right.
We're going to build a society where no one has a poverty wage, where everyone has a decent, comfortable, affordable home in which they can live and have a family, where our public services are properly funded and become the envy of the world, where young people aren't punished for daring to dream to a good education that enriches the whole of society by being saddled with debt, where no older people live in insecurity or in cold homes or in poverty. All of these things are artificial, are human-made, and as injustice is consciously created by people, it can be consciously removed, and we're going to do that. McDonald's were coming for you, you're going to lose, history is going to look down on you pretty unkindly, and it will vindicate all of those, like those courageous McDonald's workers who took a stand, who said enough is enough, and inspired all workers across the country to do the same and stop accepting their bad lot in life.
They said hopeless, we said life. Fast food workers organised.
We've got some very exciting interviews coming up, oh yeah, including one which will probably be pretty feisty. So do look out for that. I am looking forward to see you soon, though I can't really see you, but it's a figure of speech, you know what I mean. So as ever, subscribe. I'll see you next time.